What's up, everybody? It is Matt from Electric All Wheel, and today we are going to demonstrate the addition of a 52-volt battery for your Aventon V2. We have already done the install of the DateX2 in a previous video, so we implore you to check out that video. It's going to have the more complete install with mounting the screws for the controller plate and getting the wiring run out. But today's exercise is to flip this around. I am going to rig up some wiring so that we can plug in a 52-volt battery and the Aventon Smart battery with the DateX externally so that you can see that they both work. The key with the DateX dual battery input with dual output is that its efficiency is so great that the Smart battery of the Aventon V2 doesn't shut down with the blue button press on the side that we're also familiar with, and won't shut down when a second battery is added to it. And that is why the DateX2 is so important. And we're going to demonstrate that there is also no voltage limiter on the bike, so you can actually add a fully charged 52-volt battery. We'll give you some range calculations at the end. We suggest a mount on the rear rack for this 52-volt battery. The one we're going to use is the high-long triangle battery, and we are just going to strap it to the rear rack. Keep in mind, the full wiring, full installation for the DateX2 is on the previous video. We will leave a link for that in the description below. Also, I must suggest, if you're going to dual battery these bikes, it is worth every penny to check out a suspension seat post. We're going to leave a link for that in the video as well. It is a 30.9 millimeter diameter seat post for this Aventon bike, the V2 Adventure, and it makes all the difference. So we've got our Cloud9 combination with suspension seat posts that we use with dual battery, and we find that it is critical for that amount of riding. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out E-Bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. You guys get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. All right, let's get to this demonstration, and then you can check out the rest of the installation from the previous video. Here we go. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do for you is demonstrate that this is hooked up. So I am going to cut this zip tie so I can create the slack in the motor cable so that I can pull the plate out so that you can see it. There you go. And inside here, we have an adapter that was mounted to the plate, the DateX2, the wiring that actually goes outside the bike, and it's running through the bottom here at the bottom bracket. The other adapter to make the connection to the factory controller, and you can see these lines are running right here, and then that's it. This was able to be put back in, and then we are able to connect up our second battery. And to see this fully installed, the demonstration can be seen on the previous video, as I mentioned before. Right, so I'm going to just go ahead and slip this back into the compartment and make sure I pull all the slack out for my cables that I need, and that my cables inside the frame are sitting nice and tight. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect this motor back. So I'm going to take my 52-volt battery. I'm going to get the power cable out. Here we go. I'm just going to set it down right here. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. There we go. We are live. I'm going to give it as 1. Perfect. Now that's just the 52-volt battery. There's nothing in the frame. I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to hit my blue light so it turns on. And we know that the bike is still on. So what I'm looking to do now is I'm just going to unplug the 52 volt and make sure that the bike stays on. All right, still on. I've got the blue light on my factory battery, and I'm just going to unplug this 52. And it's still on. So now we can go ahead and test with throttle. We see that wheel is working. So we are good to go there. And now what I want to do is I'm going to plug in the 52 volt battery, and I'm going to bring the camera down so you can watch the blue light so you can see that it doesn't shut off. Perfect. So our 52 volt battery is plugged back in, the factory battery is on, and you can see the hint of blue right here. And then what I'm going to do is spin this motor for you for a minute just so that we can all see that it's working. And it is running, the blue light is still on, and that is the DateX2 making that combination of the 52 volt battery and the 48 volt factory battery. So we are happy with that. What we're going to do is go ahead and get this motor cable buttoned up. You'll want to make sure that you get all of your internal components buttoned up. Again, check out the previous video for this, and then we'll show you what it looks like with the 52 volt battery here and plugged in. We're going to use one of our extension cables from our kit to bring it up to the rear rack, and then we'll be good to go. I'm going to take these straps, and then I'm actually going to hook them up right here at the crossbar. So I'll wrap these straps around each one of these, and then I'm going to take these side straps and then just wrap them around the side of the rear rack. From there, I'll bring the cabling up behind the seat post here. I'm going to bring the cabling up behind the seat post and then get it to the battery. So now I'm just going to take one of the extensions from our kit, run it up right behind the seat post, plug in the extension, and then get that right up here to the battery. And then I'm going to take my battery plug in, and I'll add it here. There we go. Now you can and should strap down your extension cable so that it is nice and applied here on the bike so you have no issues there. So there you have it. We have successfully installed a second 52 volt battery in line with the factory 48 volt 15 amp hour battery. So we have 52 volts, 20 amp hours plus 48 and 15 amp hours. And we're going to get you some range calculations. Just keep in mind, we've also added the suspension seat post. So if you're actually out there doing this range of miles, you'll want something comfortable for your bum, and we suggest the bike case seat post. Remember, we'll leave a link for that in the description below. You could also check that out at electricallwheel.com. Without further ado, let's get to those range calculations. So 48 volt times 15 is the factory battery. That's 720 watt hours. And then you have 52 volts times 20 equals 1,040 watt hours. 1,040 plus 720 equals 1,760 watt hours divided by 25. And 25 is the Mica toll constant, which says it's 25 watt hours per mile ridden at 20 miles an hour. And oh my, you get 70 miles. Now, if you're a speed junkie like me and you like your throttle heavy, of course the mileage isn't going to be that great, but 70 miles at 20 miles an hour, throttle only for this Aventon Aventure V2 with the 52 volt, 20 amp hour battery. That is incredible. I know that this suspension seat post will help endure that kind of ride, so keep that in mind if you're after. 30.9 millimeter diameter. You can also add any amp hour battery that you want. Keep that in mind. It is more dependent on the voltage. Keep in mind that Electric All Wheel always recommends utilizing the factory voltage second battery. So 48 volt second battery would be ideal for this bike. Use this information to your own devices. We will be demonstrating the addition of a second factory Aventon battery with the DateX kit so that you can add your second Aventon battery in line that you purchased with their big sale. I know everyone got them and that was a big deal. And if you want to have that thing wired in line, you can do it. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary. And if you're in the area, check out e-bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. We'll talk to you next time.